You are listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast.
What is going down? It is your boy Studio MacGyver, and you are listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. Welcome back, guys. How's everybody feeling on this Memorial Day Monday? I'm not feeling so swell. My 6-year-old is out for the summer, but he brought with him some kind of cold or some kind of flu. I feel the effects coming on. My voice is starting to change. And next week, you guys might be listening to a very, very monster-like person on this podcast. I've recorded podcasts before, under the weather, and feeling like shit. But, that's just the nature of the beast sometimes. And, if I'm not, 2 seconds away from dying, then I will definitely be putting out a podcast. I might sound like shit, but, you guys will get your podcast and I will continue to move on. But anyway, guys, glad you guys could join us. All the newcomers listening to the show, thank you guys for listening. I hope to see you again someday, maybe next Monday and the Monday after that, and so on and so forth, man. So today's show is going to cover a few things. I'm going to brush up on some Ghost Recon Breakpoint, a game I was kind of interested in, but my mind is starting to change on that. Also going to talk a little bit about some Dragon Ball manga, Dragon Ball Super manga. Yes, the latest, what's been going on in there and what to look forward to, down the line with that. Also going to talk about the MCU. Yes, there are rumors in these MCU streets. And there's one that everybody's talking about, man. And actually, to be honest with you guys, it's probably not going to be a rumor anymore. But I'll let you guys be the judge of that. We're also going to talk about a new show when we're speaking about the MCU and a little bit about that. I'll get into that a little bit as well. What else do we have here? Oh, yeah, I'm going to get into a little side tangent on some wrestling. Yes, I know I don't talk about wrestling a lot on this show. And I haven't watched wrestling in years, to be honest with you guys, but I do appreciate good wrestling. I do appreciate a good wrestling show, especially back in the day, with the Attitude Era and the Monday Night Wars and all of that. But I'll get into that. There's some news. There's some things that are happening. Some of you guys probably know this already. All the guys and girls listening who are wrestling fans, I'm sure you already know. But I'm going to touch on that. And really, it's an underlining point I'm going to try to make. And I'm going to use wrestling as an example. Also, what is a diorama? What is that? You know what I mean? That's what I asked myself when I first saw this on YouTube. And a lot of you guys know what it is. There's different kinds. There's hundreds of different styles. But I actually talked a little bit last week about some customization and stuff like that. But man, I think I'm in love with dioramas now, certain dioramas, and I'll talk a little bit about that as well. And yeah, man, so let's begin. Let's start the show. Let me first off say that I saw a trailer of a video game by the name of Neo 2. A lot of you guys may know about this game, the first one. A lot of you guys may not. It's an excellent game. It's kind of like it's like a Souls game in a sense. It's very, very harsh if you're not careful, if you don't take your steps wisely. You can definitely get murdered out here in these streets. You're going to die in this type of game. You're going to die a few hundred times, probably, if you play through the whole story. It's definitely a challenge there. But Neo 2, I saw some trailers, and I'm really, really digging what I saw. It looks to be bigger and better. They seem to be adding things to it. And it looks like a nice little recipe for a title that a company had made. And then they go back and make it again, make a sequel. And, sometimes sequels aren't all that they're cracked up to be. But this one looks very, very promising, though. If you guys haven't seen Neo 2, check that shit out. Check out the trailer, man. It's pretty awesome. Also, on another note, John Wick 3, I did not make it to the theater to go see that. I've been so busy these last few days. I hadn't had time. I mean, it's funny how when you try to make plans for certain things, sometimes they don't fucking happen. And it's just like, you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. That's some real shit. And I didn't get a chance to make it, but I just got through watching John Wick 1. I've seen them already. My girlfriend has not. So we're just trying to squeeze movies in when we can. So we saw John Wick 1. By the time we finished that, it was like 3 a.m. So we're going to watch John Wick 2 tomorrow. And then hopefully we'll make some time to go see John Wick 3 at the theaters next weekend. That's the plan. That's the goal. Like I said, she hasn't seen any of them. I've seen the first and the second one, and I want to go see the third one. But now that she's seen the first one, now she has to see the second one, which we have. And then after that, we're just going to go try to catch the third one at the theater. So wish me luck, guys. I hope that it goes smoothly, at least more than it has been for me in the past 3 or 4 days or so, because it's been crazy. It's been hectic. I've been running around. I've been losing sleep, and I'll get to that. I'll get to all of that a little bit later. But anyway, where should we go next? Where should I begin next? What do I want to touch on next? Okay. I want to hit you guys up with an MCU rumor. Let's go there. Yeah. Now, everybody, well, all the comic readers, all the X-Men fans, all the Wolverine fans, have been wondering. I know I've thought about it. Like, who is going to take over as Wolverine? If you guys don't know, they're revamping that franchise. This last X-Men movie from Fox is going to be in theaters early next month. I'm going to check it out. Yeah, The Dark Phoenix. Can't wait to see it. That movie there. And pretty much when that movie is over, it's pretty much done for that version of the X-Men. We're going to be seeing X-Men in the MCU now again. And, I don't even know if it was again. We seen them briefly, I want to say, but don't let me get to lying. I can't remember. My brain is fried right now. But the most important thing is that they're coming back to the MCU. All right. And I, for one, cannot wait to see, number one, how they look, the design that they're going to take on, because let's be real with each other. I mean, there's some dope designs that carry over really well into the MCU, but then there's others that don't necessarily carry over so well into the movie scene. I don't know if it's just whoever's in charge of doing it or what, but there's been some fuck ups out here in these movie streets when it comes to some of these characters. But I'm just keeping it real. I'm being honest, and I'm just hoping that they don't botch this. Knowing MCU and knowing what they've been doing so far, I don't think they will. I think they'll get it right, but the rumor that everybody's talking about, though, is who's going to play Wolverine, the character that is going to play Wolverine. Now, I may, fuck up his name by saying it. I don't want to, no disrespect to this actor, because I fuck with him hard body. I really did like this guy, and he played in Sons of Anarchy, and I actually absolutely loved him in that. And he goes by the name of Charlie. I want to say, Hunnam. I think it's Hunnam, Hunnam, I think. Yeah, he was actually the star of Sons of Anarchy, and he's played in some other things too. Really dope actor. That's the rumor right now as it stands, that he's going to be the guy. And I think, I think he'll play a good Wolverine. I think he'll be a nice Wolverine. But like I said, well, let's wait and see. Let's see what transpires. Let's see what happens. MCU, like I said, they're pretty good at making these type of decisions and picking the right people for the job. So I'm just gonna, put my faith in their hands, and then I'm just gonna, put my money on the table and walk away on that. But I just wanted to share that with you guys in case you did not know. Now you know. Speaking of Marvel. I got a little bit more information on the upcoming show on Disney Plus, which is going to be starring Falcon, aka the new Captain America, and that Winter Soldier. And right now, as it stands, it's said to have 6 episodes right now. It's going to be 6-episode series. So I think they're going to be like an hour and 20 minutes per episode. That's what everybody's saying. And basically what this mini series is doing is getting everybody geared up for the next phase in the MCU. That's why, if you notice, and they're using all the same actors in the MCU, because a lot of these stories, which I think is brilliant, by the way, that what Disney's doing on this aspect of it, I think is brilliant because, they get to tell a story and, present the next phase of that story. And, it's a win-win for everybody because you get to watch, if you got Disney, you get to stream it at home. You get to watch some of these stories, unfold at home and or wherever device you're using. And then also you get to go and, get the continuation of that at the movie theater on the DVD or Blu-rays or whatever. You know what I mean? So, word is on the street is that they're doing this miniseries to basically, I guess, take you through those characters' lives and watch everything pan out, because it's not as simple as, okay, Captain America gave his shield to Falcon and then, oh, you're Captain America now. No, there's a transitional phase that has to happen. You know what I mean? For people to really understand, the gravity of some of these things that are going on. You know what I mean? That's why the comic book thing is so real. And that's why I'm getting back into these books, man. There's so many fucking great stories that I missed, man. Oh my God. So many. I downloaded Comixology and I've been fucking downloading books like left and fucking right. And I can't wait to get into some of these guys, especially I'm going off on a side tangent, but Punisher Max. Oh my God. I can't fucking wait. But anyway, right now, as it stands, that's the word in the street. So in the book, it happened a little bit differently, but from the outside looking in, you kind of want to know, well, at least I want to know like how he makes that transition. I mean, that is a big fucking step. When you're talking about Captain America, like the golden boy of Marvel, I mean, that's a heavy fucking shield to hold up, man. You know what I mean? And everybody, Falcon, Sam Wilson, he is not, he's not Steve Rogers. They're not the same. And I think that they're going to shed light on that. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just that they're different and they look at things differently and they handle things differently. At least that's what I think is going to happen. That's what everybody's talking about. And if you read the books, this is Captain America, Sam Wilson, and you dove into that and those stories, that's pretty much what was taking place. You know what I mean? And I can't wait to see what these guys do when it pertains to that story. Same thing with the Winter Soldier. They're going to focus on him because nobody really had time. We never really got a chance to, see what, he's dealing with. He's dealing with a lot. He basically went through the same shit that Steve Rogers, Captain America, went through. You know what I mean? So he's not going to handle it the same as Steve Rogers handled it. He's going to handle it his way. It's going to be different. So to see how they take his character and develop that and get his mind clear and, to where he feels, he feels just, you know what I mean? And able to get out there and help people, whatever. That's going to be interesting as well. And then their relationship, there's a relationship thing that's going to be, kind of developed here. And then, they get all that kinked out and then they hit us, in the MCU where I think when we see him in MCU, when we see Sam Wilson, we're going to see, Sam Wilson, Captain America, that outfit in the MCU. We might even see it at the end of this Falcon and Winter Soldier series. But I think that's the way it's going. That's what people are saying right now. And if that is true, then I'm on board, baby. Let's go. Let's get it. I mean, Marvel is doing some big fucking things, great things right now as it stands, man. I'm so for real. The difference between Marvel and DC, in my opinion, is just that there's so many more characters that are universally known. Even like the low tier characters, I mean, when you compare it to, DC's with Batman, I mean, if you go to the comic book sales, every month and see who's selling books, who's on the top, the top 10, the creme de la creme, you're going to see Batman a lot and you're going to see a whole bunch of Marvel shit. I mean, Batman is like I mean, they got Batman. I mean, that's what I'm going to say. They got Batman. If you got Batman, I mean, you can almost always never lose. But I just think that they need to use Batman, to introduce some other characters, maybe they could do that. Maybe they will eventually do that. I don't know. But I don't know. When I think of DC compared to Marvel, that's what I see. Now, there's a lot of DC fans out here and I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes. Please don't get it twisted. You know what I mean? Me personally, I'm just now getting back to books anyway. So what, what am I really, doing up here trying to talk bad on anybody? Because that's not what I'm trying to do. But that's just from my perspective, what I've seen in my experience growing up collecting them when I was younger and now trying to get back into it now. And like, who's talking about what and what's going on? That's it. And that's all. I respect all the people anybody who does comics, man, because it's a beautiful thing. The graphic novels, I have been away for too long. So now I'm back and I'm going to dive right in. I cannot fucking wait. Anyway, I don't even know what the fuck I was talking about up until this point. I think I covered everything I needed to cover on that, which was the Marvel stuff. So yeah, I think we'll leave it at that. A friend of mine came over this past weekend. He came over because he was going to give me something. And what he gave me was Days Gone, his copy of Days Gone to play. He just completed it. He said it was dope. He loved it. I think I remember talking about this maybe a few weeks ago on a podcast where, right around when Mortal Kombat came out, because I think it came out around the same time. And Mortal Kombat 11 was my, already paid for game. Like, I just knew I was going to have Mortal Kombat. And he was like that about Days Gone. He just loved Days Gone and he was anticipating it and he wanted to play it. So that's what he got. Now, he enjoyed it. But, I've been covering, games and stuff like that for a while now. And this is one of the titles that a lot of people were, peeing on. And it's also what hurt the worst, when I first heard people that were doing that is it's a Sony exclusive. So, and Sony and exclusive, those two things together usually equal, greatness. And, I was like, well, I don't know. And mostly the complaints were bugs. There's a lot of bugs in this game. And a lot of people were, man, they were they were in Sony shit for this. That's what I saw. Now, it could be a great game underneath all that. And thankfully, I was going to eventually play it. I always give love to Sony exclusives because they pretty much make dope shit. They usually take their time and they're pretty good titles, if not some of the best. Like God of War was like one of my all time favorites. 10 out of 10 God of War was. But anyway, so I got the game. I haven't started it yet because, oh God, so much going on, like I said before, but that game is fucking huge. All right. And the day one patch is fucking huge. So I got to fucking make some room and make sure I have enough room because I have, videos and gameplay footage and all this other shit on here. And I got to make sure that I have enough to carry this shit over. That's number one. Number two, I was waiting for them to possibly fix what everybody's been pretty much talking about when it comes to this game, which was all these broken, glitches. And there were some that even said that they were parts of the game that it would be so broken that it wouldn't allow you to complete the game. You couldn't even finish the game behind some of these. Some of these were like mission based fuck ups where you're trying to do a mission and you can't finish a mission and it's a story mission. You need this mission to get done and you can't fucking do it because it's broken. I guess the NPC just stands there. He freezes and you just can't, you know what I mean? Nothing happens. So I was like, whoa, okay. He found a way. He got through the game. He said there's a lot of extra stuff that he could do or whatever, but he put so many hours into the game right now. He's going to take a break. So, he went ahead and let me hold on to it. When he gave me the game, I'll eventually, play it. There is a patch for it though. I was looking and luckily, there is a patch. I think it's 1.09 and it's only been out, maybe 4 or 5 days, but it's a lot of people are salty about that because that fucking thing is 13 gigs. It's 12.5 something. So, round it out to 13 gigs for a fucking patch. I mean, these are the things. I don't give a fuck who you are when you're making games. These are the things that I fucking loathe. I cannot stand, these huge patches, a game coming out, on release day, not even completed or broken with glitches and all these things. And I can kind of almost guarantee you that the company knew about a lot of these fucking glitches. And they were basically saying, look, some of these guys are just going to have to roll the dice and some of them are going to fucking crap out. You know what I mean? By, the decisions that they make in this game. And, it should not be that way. And, I'm a Sony guy. Please don't get it twisted. But at the same time, I'm a gamer first. And when I look at shit like that, I kind of frown down on it because I don't care who you are. If you're fucking over your consumers, man, you're fucking over your consumers. You know what I'm saying? Looks like a duck, talks like a duck. It's a duck, baby. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. I'm not going to cut them any slack just because I love them, just because they are, one of the better companies out here. They don't get a pass. If they fuck up, they're going to get called out as well. And if you go to YouTube, you'll definitely find that out. You know what I mean? So hopefully they got it worked out. I just needed to know that before I started the download process, besides going here and clean out some of these other games I have on here. Cause I have so much. I mean, I think my PlayStation is this. I've got so much stuff on here now. I mean, Jesus Christ. My son was getting out of school, so he's out for the summer now. He's 6 years old, man. He just came here literally before I hit the record button, and it was like 4 something in the morning. Cause he's been sick, so he's kind of been asleep and awake, and his hours are all fucked up like mine. But anyway, he came in here right before I hit record, and I'm so glad he came in here then and not later. It would have fucked up a whole podcast, or at least I'd be doing some editing, some heavy editing. But anyway, I had a game that I hadn't played yet that, I downloaded because I had the PlayStation Plus or whatever. And it was Transformers Devastation. I don't know if you guys know about this game. Have you heard about this game? But the game is fucking beautiful. The game is really, really dope. I'm really enjoying myself playing that game. I really downloaded it for him mainly, because it's Transformers or whatnot. And all the crisp, bright colors and all the action. And, I ended up loving it more than him. And then on top of that, to put the perfect cherry on top, this game is a fucking platinum game. Yes, Platinum Games made this. So I didn't even know that. How did that fucking slip by me? I don't know. Maybe it didn't and I just forgot. But I love Platinum Games. If you guys don't know, that's one of my favorite gaming companies as far as the action game realm goes. They're up there. They're in my top. Platinum Games is in my top 5 for sure. Love their fucking games, man. But Astro Train is another one that's coming out for the Nintendo Switch. So big things coming from these guys. But that game was fucking fucking amazing. I love it. Sideswipe is my dude. But anyway, that game, that's on there along with a plethora of all kind of other games. You know what I mean? So I got to make some room for Daddy, I guess, eventually. And then I got to make sure that I'm timing it right too, because this is an open world game. This is a game that, this is my favorite genre of game. And, I lose myself in these games. So I better be prepared to, basically, get away from everything else before I jump into this game. So I'm going to take a week, at least to marinate, maybe 3 or 4 days and play some online Mortal Kombat 11 and get some stuff recorded and done before I maybe, do that. But, luckily, Mortal Kombat 11 is a fighting game, so it's not, it's not killing my time like that. But yeah, usually open world games do that to me, and I have to, get in there. But yeah, man, he has not played God of War yet. Yes, I said it. I'm gonna say it again. He has not played God of War yet. I let him, since he, he was gonna give me that game for nothing. Let me hold it for nothing. He's my boy, so I let him, hold. I let him hold God of War. And he does not know what he's in for. He just doesn't. That game is pure fucking greatness on one disc. I'm telling you right now, if you have not played God of War, what are you doing with your life? If you have a PS4 and you haven't played it, fuck it. If you just are a gamer and you haven't played God of War, what are you doing? What are you doing? Get it together, man. Put the sake on the table and walk away. That's all I'm going to say. And I'll leave it at that. But yeah, he's going to enjoy himself. That's all. I want to talk a little bit about Dragon Ball Super. Yes, the manga, man. What's fucking going on with the manga? What's out here? What's going on in these Dragon Ball streets? Well, let me tell you this, okay? Moro, I've talked about this before. Right now, he's the protagonist, what's the fucking, I get those two mixed up all the fucking time. Anyway, he's the bad boy of this chapter, of this saga, if you will. He basically started to act an ass out here in these streets. Majin Buu came back. He merged with, what the fuck is this guy's name? You guys have to excuse my brain is so fried right now. I need sleep like there's no tomorrow. Anyway, I'm gonna just break this down real quick. He figured out a way. Majin Buu was beating his ass pretty much, basically. Okay. And, Vegeta and Goku were like, yo, why the fuck is he throwing hands like this? Where did this come from? How come we cannot do this to him? It's just a special, he's gifted with a special, being inside of him, which, is kind of like kryptonite. It's kind of like Moro's kryptonite. But anyway, he still managed to get a wish off. And I think his name was Raspberry, the henchman that was hanging around Moro or whatever. He was the one that made the wish for him. So basically what happened was Shinron was summoned. Raspberry, made it there and basically was using the Nameks to decipher, the language so that they could get the wish off. Moro was still tied up dealing with Majin Buu, but he still had telepathy, and he got to Raspberry through that telepathy and basically told his ass, look, don't fuck me over. If you do, there's nowhere you're going to be able to hide. I will find you and I will kill you. And basically he was like, okay, I'm not going to, all right, I'll give you I'll make your wish. So he made his wish. Raspberry wanted to make his wish. He wanted to get away from all this bullshit. And he didn't want anybody to be able to find him, but he never got a chance to make that wish. Moro got free. Moro, he got two wishes. Okay. Cause it was 3 wishes out here. Okay. One of the wishes was Moro wanted to, he wanted his magic power granted back to him. He got that one. The other wish, I can't remember the fucking other wish. Moro got 2 wishes. Just put it like this. Moro got 2 wishes. Okay. The other wish was a wish, but it wasn't as significant as the other ones. It was something, the most important thing is that Moro got his magic power back. So now that he has that back, he's basically, unstoppable, at least as of right now, right this second. There's nothing that can rival him right now. And the other wish that he made, nobody still knows what it is. We don't know what it is. Vegeta, asked him, hey, tell me what that wish is. What did you wish for? And he basically said, you'll find out soon enough. And he basically, he dipped. He left. He said, you guys are no threat to me. I don't even have to waste my time with you anymore. And he just he got away. All right. And that is pretty much that's pretty much the chapter in a nutshell, that volume. There's a lot of little things that happen in between, but that's the gist of it. And man, I just don't know what's going to happen, when the anime comes back. I don't know what direction they're going to take. I don't know if they're going to, take this arc. I mean, I feel like they have to. I feel like they have to use this arc, and we have to see this. I think that's going to happen. I don't know if they're going to do anything, after this. You know what I mean? It started afterwards. It's up in the air for me, guys. I don't have any answers. I don't know what they're going to do. I just hope it's good. I have faith in that it will be good, but that's pretty much that in a nutshell, what was going on with that. But I wish it was still fresh in my mind because, I looked at this a while back and, the most important pieces were there, but there were some other things that could have been, I could have been breaking down a little bit, but, potato. It is what it is. Anyway, let me jump onto the next subject real quick. And that subject is basically Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Yeah, that game actually is, got a decent star. The guy who plays Punisher. Yes. I can't think of his fucking name right now. I'm sorry, but I love his Punisher, his version of Punisher on Netflix. But yeah, Brenthal, I think that's his last name. But yeah, he's a great actor, fabulous actor, fantastic. He is going to be the face of this game. The problem with that, honestly, is some news came out not too long ago about how the game is going to be played. And this game is basically forcing online connectivity. In other words, if you don't have internet, you cannot play this game. So right there, it shut a whole lot of people down. And everybody's asking, why do I have to be online to play this game? And they really have no real answers for that right now. And this is very important. And the reason why I say that is because moving forward in the future, man, this is, game developers and, companies that are making games like this. This is very important because this could change a lot going forward. You know what I mean? I don't want to fucking play, what if, Horizon Zero Dawn came out, or what if God of War came out and they said, yeah, play this game, but the only way you can play it is if, if you're connected to the internet. You know what I mean? Like, why do I have to be connected 24/7 to play this game? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not feeling that. You know what I mean? I have an issue with that. There's a lot of people out here whose internet is just not all that. And not to mention, server issues within Sony or with their game, company, whoever's making the game. Trust me, I've been plenty of times on the Division or whatever I was trying to play where could not get into the server for whatever reason, or there was something wrong with the server, and basically you were fucked. You cannot play. So you're anticipating this game for God knows how long or whatever. You get your hands on it and you can't get into the fucking servers because there's issues. So you're just twiddling your fucking thumbs. You just spent $65 to sit here and twiddle your fucking thumbs. You know what I mean? Or to have that held over your head like a dirty ass bribe. It rubs me the wrong way. And I really hate online games, guys. For the most part, what they stand for most of these companies. Not all companies are like that, but a lot of companies adopt this recipe for trying to basically, get more money out of the consumer. And what's so fucked up about that is they want to get more money out of us, but they don't want to turn around and give us a fucking complete game. Okay, some Capcom, you want me to pay $3.99 for a stage, but you don't have arcade mode. Something that comes native with all fighting games. You see where I'm coming from? I mean, what are you smoking? Tell me, what you're drinking, the Tiger water. Where do you get your Tiger water? Where do you get your sake from? It has to be handed down from generation to generation. Some of the strongest shit ever, because it's got your mind fucked. It's got the way you think, the decisions that you make. It's got all of that balled up into a big smelly piece of shit. And I guess you think everybody thinks it smells like roses, because it doesn't. Okay. Put down the fucking sake. Okay. Break up, the scroll that you were smoking and put it in the toilet and flush it down the drain. We don't need you to drug yourself anymore. Please stop it. That's how I, feel when it comes to a lot of these companies. You want us to pay full price, and then on top of that, you want us to pay for cosmetics and all this other bullshit that should already come with the fucking game. And then on top of all that, you want us to stay connected to the internet all fucking day, 24 hours, so you can monitor what we look at and what we play and what games like this, so you can fucking try to sell us some more bullshit. That's my problem with it. If you were a top tier, company, game developer, and you showed that you cared about, your consumers, that's another story. But, I just put it like this, you get burned, and just like a woman scorned or whatever, you know what I mean? It sucks for that next guy up. Put it like that. If Billy fucks over Sarah, then guess what? If Sam, happens to be that next guy in line, Sammy's going to go through a lot of boo-boo. I'm telling you right now, all because of what that last guy did. And that's what it's going to happen. They keep fucking up and doing all these things, making these poor decisions, man. They're going to fuck it up for the companies that are actually putting out decent shit. And, that's just how it goes. Or altogether get it murked or get it murdered altogether. I mean, we all know what's happening out here in these streets, especially when it comes to games. Some of these other titles out here, that were supposed to be the creme de la creme, the biggest thing to hit ever since this or hit that. You know what I mean? All these, these online games that were supposed to be all that I got excited for. Anthem was supposed to just be, oh my God. And it's a fucking meme. It's a laughing joke now. I mean, the fans, the players have basically worn down to a fucking size of a fucking nub. You know what I mean? There's supposedly some kind of update coming out next month, but we'll see. Of course, it just happens to come out right around E3. Is that a coincidence or what? I'm not sure, but, that's another thing. Sony's not going to be at E3, but oh my God, I don't know what this E3 is going to be like. I'm definitely going to be covering it, but Hopefully we get some confirmations and some release dates. That's really all I care about. Give me some release dates. Let me get my wallet ready if there's something that I am going to, get, because there's still some titles out there that I want to touch. Definitely, that I want to touch now. So we'll go from there. We'll see. I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to some of these titles. Astral Strain, I want to say it's coming up soon. I want to say the next couple months, man, we should be getting that. So looking forward to playing that. That is a Platinum's game. So yeah. But yeah, man, I got off on a little side tangent, but it's sad. It's very sad. But yeah, hey, I mean, we'll call you out. You fuck up, we'll call you out. We'll put you out there on Front Street, and we will make it known. So you better watch your step. I'm talking to game developers. I'm talking to these, guys, the higher ups making all the bad decisions and, drinking all the sake. I'm talking to those guys. Get your shit together, please, sir. Anyway, what I want to talk about now, guys, is man, I was I was on Twitter, and this AEW kept on popping up. Okay, now AEW is, it's a new company. It's a new wrestling company. And if you guys don't know, if you're not into wrestling, or if you haven't seen it in years, like I have, it's been a while. I still love the games. I still enjoy the games. I actually have 2K19 because, I do love wrestling games. It's a form of a fighting game to me, and it brings back nostalgia memories, especially when, you create your dream matches and stuff like that with the characters you used to mess with back in the day or used to follow. But, WWE has, I haven't watched it in years, but I do see it. I do hear people on the internet and people talking about it. I do have some friends that are fans, and, they tell me, man, that WWE has failed from fucking grace. They have become, Thanos-like in their way of thinking. And, since they're the only ones pretty much here, the main important ones, and everybody else, all the small indie companies and all that, they don't matter. No matter what they do, they're not going to rival them by any stretch of the imagination. They're not worried. So they treat their employees, a lot of their employees, supposedly they treat them like shit. A lot of these wrestlers, who are supposedly very talented and who deserves, certain things to happen to them, it never happens. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing out here in these wrestling streets. And, they're basically like, what you going to do about it? I mean, what are you going to do? And the issue, well, I guess you can call it the solution to that is AEW, man, because what these guys are doing, they're making me want to fucking watch wrestling again. I mean, goddamn. I mean, when Jericho, what first got me interested, was going on and shit, was when Jericho, started wrestling in Japan or something. And Jericho's my favorite all-time wrestler of all time. And right there, Sting is like right under him. And I have a few other ones that I used to fuck with, you know what I'm saying? But Jericho's that guy. He's still wrestling right now, man. 48 years old, still doing big things, having great matches and all this kind of crazy shit. But anyway, he signed with these guys first. And when he did, that's what really got me interested. I was like, really? Why would Jericho turn down all this fucking money? You know what I mean? And he got to pretty much come and go as he kind of pleased, when it came to WWE. Why? Because he's also like in a band too. Judas, I think that's the name of it. But he's doing, he's living his best life right now. So then listening to him talk about it and break the shit down, I was like, oh shit. Okay. Now I think I understand. Basically, it's a new world. It's a new game. You know what I mean? The guys apparently who bought this company, who started this company, owns the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they own something else too. I think they own a basketball team or football, something. They own a football team for sure, and I think they own another sports team. But these guys got money in the bank, and they're wrestling fans. So, and they're young. The guy's young. The guy. So, it's a new twist to a beautiful story, man. And really, if you're a WWE guy, or if you're Vince McMahon, I mean, you got to be sweating bullets, man. You got to be like, oh shit, what's going on here in these streets? Because now they're giving more freedom to the wrestlers. They're treating all the wrestlers, a lot better. They're letting them, because supposedly in the wrestling world, at least in WWE, it's very straight up scripted out. You're going to do this. You're going to say that. at this time and at that, this is what's going to happen. And you know what I mean? And you have to do it. And a lot of wrestlers were promised, supposedly they were promised all kinds of things. They were promised the world. They were going to get to do this and do that. They're going to get this title and all this. And it never happened. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the people that are wrestling there now, they feel that way. They're like, damn, I'm getting fucked right now. I've been lied to. I said I was going to do this or do that. It's not happening. AEW's not like that. They just had a pay-per-view just recently, man. It's past weekend, I think it was. I think it was Double or Nothing. And it was in my feed. People were talking about it. They were saying it's some of the best matches they ever seen. Had motherfuckers out there crying. I mean, you know, Dusty and Dustin fought, the two brothers, man. I mean, he showed out. I mean, it was blood everywhere, but it was just epicness. Jericho, everybody was like living their best life, man. And Jericho broke that shit down like a hard ass math problem. And he basically was just like, look, this is the difference. This is why. I mean, we get more creative control. You know, they're not opposed to, you know, working together with the wrestlers because they're the wrestlers. I mean, they're the ones out there doing it. So why not give them some leeway? Why not, you know, try to, you know, work together as opposed to saying, no, it's this or it's nothing. You know, you're going to do this and be this character or do that, or it's nothing. You know, some of these dumbass gimmicks or whatever they got going on because they have no creative control. So if they fucking flop, if that character doesn't do shit, then, you know, guess what? They're labeled like that. You know what I mean? So Vince thought he was the shit. You know, actually he bought everything out. You know, Attitude Era, all of that. He bought my favorite company, which was WCW. I loved them, but I also did love the Attitude Era back in the day. But he bought ECW, which was also so good. They had their own thing, and they were growing slowly but surely. So he just, I guess, eliminated all his threats at one time, paid to get it all off, and then now apparently it's just a piece of shit now. Apparently that's what's going on out here. And now this company, man, has shown the world that, look, no, it doesn't have to just be WWE. And we care about our wrestlers here. We care about our fans here. We care about what people say and what people think, you know, our employees here. You know what I mean? And people are seeing that now because now supposedly that pay-per-view, man, one of the wrestlers, man, well, I can't forget his fucking name. He was in a group called The Shield or whatever back in WWE. But anyway, they tried to re-sign him. WWE tried to re-sign this guy and he said, no, he wants out. Y'all kept fucking with me too many years, for 5 or 6 years. I'm done. He dipped, man. And now he's, like one of the top dogs in AEW. And the way he came out, you know, after the main event at that pay-per-view was epic. So they're on their way to doing big things, man. They really are. That should make it was so good to watch. It felt so good to watch, man. I almost wanted to watch wrestling again. Like that's how, you know, amazing it is. You know, and also it's not going to do anything but help the consumer more because every time when you got one entity, I mean, shit, they're going to do whatever the fuck they're going to do. But when you put some fucking pressure on them, then it makes them say, oh shit, we got to worry about our wrestlers now getting salty and then saying, fuck it, I went out of my contract, I'm gone, and going and running over to fucking the competition. Because that's just what happened just this past weekend. And you're going to see more of that. You're going to see more of it. All the motherfucking wrestlers that they shit on and peed on, they're going to be gone, man. And it's going to be, it's just funny. It's just funny how shit works out. You know, they were dominant for so many years, even with a terrible product at times. And now look at them. Sooner or later, it was only a matter of time before the right wrestlers got together with the right people and made some decisions. And this happened. You know what I mean? You fuck over people too long, it's bound to change. And that's what we're seeing right now. And now, you know, in October, they got a TV deal with TNT. So they're going to be on every week. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to get real fucking interesting. That's all I'm going to fucking say, man. It's going to be real interesting because then you're going to get a better product, I think, from WWE because they have to do something. They're going to have to give creative control over to somebody else because they say supposedly Vince is making that final say. I mean, he'll come in there a minute before, you know, 10 minutes before the show and he'll fucking change some shit right there on the money and then botched everything else. Everything the other writers were doing all night writing everything. He takes it away within 10 minutes, and all that work for nothing. You know, he's old. He's up there, man. And when you get old like that, you know, you're set in your ways, man. And your way of thinking is not, it's hard to get you out of that way of thinking. And I think that's what's happening with this Vince McMahon guy, man, right now. You know what I mean? He had some great years, man. He did. But man, it's time to move on. It's time to lay it down, man. We'll see though. We'll definitely see. Cause if he, WWE, you know, keeps it up, shit, it won't be long. There'll be that motherfucker that, you know, begging people to come wrestle with them. I promise you. We'll see though. We shall see. But yeah, man, I wanted to bring that up real quick because I mean, you can apply that thing. You can apply what I just, you know, spoke about to anything. You know, you can apply it to gaming. You can apply it to whatever. The politics are real. And that's really, you know, the downfall of a lot of great games that could have been or should have been. And even, you know, anime that should have been, you know, or whatever, because there was somebody who just thought that they had a bigger dick, or they just thought that, you know, they were better for whatever reason, and didn't want to play ball, and, you know, shit gets scrapped. That's what happens sometimes, man. And it's sad. It's really, really sad, because it's not, and it shouldn't be all about money. It really should not. If you're running a wrestling company, if you're running a gaming company, shouldn't you have people in those high up positions who actually enjoy those things? When Vince is a different story. He's senile. I think he's just old and senile, and he's just set in his ways. But for the most part, man, you got game companies, man, who want to, you know, make games. Who's that guy at the very top? Who did you hire? Who did you put up there to make these executive decisions? Does that motherfucker play games? Is he into fantasy? Is he into that type of world? Or did he just, you know, go to a top school and, you know, his numbers were good and all of this type of shit? That's where, you know, that's where you lose me at. You know what I mean? If you're really truly passionate about something, you're going to make that shit work. And you're not always going to think about money when you're doing something. You're going to think about, okay, I want to play this. Would I play this? You know what I mean? How are my fans going to feel? Because that in the end is going to take you further. I promise you, you're going to live a lot longer, and it's going to take you a lot further. It is. But some people don't realize that. Some people are too thirsty for their own fucking good. And in the end, they're going to cut their fucking self open and bleed out. It's just inevitable. It's going to happen. You know, I've witnessed it already, and we'll witness it again. It's just the nature of the beast, I guess. And I feel like, you know, that big ass head motherfucker in Marvel, the Watcher, just sitting back, watching shit unfold, not interfering, never interfering. Just all you could do is sit and fucking watch and just giggle to yourself. It is what it fucking is. But congratulations to AEW, man, on an excellent pay-per-view, on the buzz that they have created. Everything going on for them. I love to see new companies rise and do things like this, especially when you're doing it the right way. I just had to, you know, bring that up and talk about that. I guess I'll be putting 2K19 in here and downloading some AEW rings, some pay-per-views and shit like that, and some wrestlers or whatever, and add that to some of my roster, because they're kicking off beautifully, man. They really are. Congratulations to all those guys, man. And last but not least, I'm gonna close the show with, what the fuck is a diorama? What is that? That's what I asked myself on YouTube, man. If you listened to the podcast last week, you guys heard me talk about customization, how I was trying to get into customizing figures, because I have a decent amount of figures now, man. I'm a small time collector. And, you know, I'm growing my shit, you know, one by one, very slowly but surely. And, you know, some of them, you know, have some paint blotches. Some of them have some things that, you know, I feel I could add to them to make them, you know, a little bit better, you know, my version. So, you know, the last time you spoke to me, I was waiting on the Punisher. I was waiting on Sam Wilson. I was waiting on the Black Panther, and they all came all at one time. That was beautiful. That was fucking beautiful. They all came at one time. But yeah, I was looking at them and everything, checking them out. And a couple of them need some work. So need some paint touch-ups here and there. I'm going to get to it. But, you know, I was really interested in being, you know, starting to customize a little bit. Nothing over the top like some of the professionals. I would not take anything away from those guys at all. Never. But then I got into dioramas. I started looking around at those, because when I was looking at videos on customization and the customizing of figures, I'd see all this other shit in the background. It looked like an actual fucking set. It looked like these motherfuckers were in an alleyway with bricks and trash cans and, it was dirty and gritty and in these New York streets. And I was like, yo, what the fuck? Where do you buy this at? And like, no, you don't. You can buy them from other makers, on eBay or whatever like that. But I said, well, can you make them yourself? And then there you go, how-tos, do-it-yourselves, da-da-da-da-da. Get some cardboard, get some fucking, get some styrofoam and some paint and do this and do that and boom. I'm like, what? And then, I started looking at dioramas in general and there's all kinds. There's so many different kinds. There's doll houses, there's, wildlife where there's, you name it, there's one out there probably. But, a lot of people who collect figures, they make them for their figures or whatever. And, it's fucking amazing what they do, what they come up with, the ideas that they get. But it got me interested. And I said, man, fuck, I think I want to try this. So this weekend I went out, man, and I bought a bunch of fucking styrofoam. I bought all this shit, man. What really caught my eye, I'm not going to lie, I'm just going to keep it real. What caught my eye and got me really wanting to do this is that some guy made a throne, for a Black Panther figure, man. This throne looked fucking amazing. I mean, it looked like it was really actually made out of fucking rock, but it wasn't. It was fucking cardboard. And I just couldn't believe my jaw just dropped when I watched how he made it and all that shit. I was like, yo, okay. Now I understand. So now I'm like on another path. Customizing there is there too, but I'm also on a path to try to make some dioramas, man. I'm going to take a crack at it. I'll definitely let you guys know when I'm done, because I'll be posting the pics on my Instagram. You guys can check it out and rate it. Tell me what you guys think. I would love to hear what you guys think about it. Or does anybody out there listening do that now? Are any of you guys listening into, creating dioramas or collecting or, customizing? I would love to hear from you guys. I really would, man. I'm just now starting to get into that community. I'm starting to notice who's the who and who's like the man or the big shots, in these realms, if you will. So, still researching, still doing all that, but I like to, link up with some of these guys and just anybody in general that's trying to, be creative in their own way. And this is just another avenue to do that for me, at least. But, I'm really enjoying myself, guys. I really am right now. Other than being sick or getting sick, everything has been pretty cool, man, as of late. So I'm going to get my ass up out of here, man. I think I went a little bit too long today on this podcast because I'm kind of feeling like boo-boo. I'm not going to lie. I'm keeping it real with you guys. I got some cough drops in my hand right now, and I don't want to do it right now because I'm recording. But as soon as I hit that stop button, it's going down. But yeah, man, I really enjoyed this podcast, guys. I really enjoy every podcast for the most part, talking to you guys and just expressing the things that I love to express, the nerd culture, everything nerdy, all the cool shit in my world and hopefully some of you guys' world. It has to be if you guys listen to this podcast. I mean, you have to like something that I'm talking about, right? So with that being said, I'm going to get out of here, guys. If you want to reach out and you want to get a hold of me any kind of way, just talk. If you want to make a suggestion, anything, man, hit me on Twitter at Studio MacGyver. You can also reach me on Instagram at Studio MacGyver79. Also, check out the YouTube channel, Studio MacGyver TV. Got some cool videos on there. The podcast is up there every week. Check that out. Yeah, man, I do have a Discord. I always say I have a Discord coming. It does. I just have so much on my plate, but that's coming soon. And definitely can't wait for that. I also have a Patreon coming as well very soon. So if you guys, like to support me and show your love, I might be swayed to do a podcast twice a week instead of once a week. Just a little bit more for you guys, just a little taste. Also check out Beautiful Nerds, man. If you want nerd culture, if you enjoy nerd culture, if you, all of that, anime, gaming, comics, all that shit, man. Check out Beautiful Nerds. That's www.beautifulnerds.com. Nerds is spelled Nurdz. Check them out, guys. Got all kinds of shit up there. New stuff uploaded every month. Yeah, man. And just show some love. I love you guys, man. Thank you for listening. All you newcomers, man, welcome. Welcome to the show. I hope to hear from you next week. I hope to hear, listen to me when you're asleep. Listen to me when you're jogging, whatever you're fucking doing, man. Just, hey, I appreciate the ears, man. That's all I'm saying. That's what I'm saying right now. I'm going to get out of here, guys, for the last time. This is Studio MacGyver, and you have been listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. See you next time.